Hey Kat, how you doing? This is Mike. I am going to be doing a quick demo reel breakdown here for you, just to give you an idea of where you stand and what things I think you can improve upon. Um, so the first thing that I interact with is this splash page for your demo reel. I think that the structure of it's very sound. It's got your name. It's very clearly stating that you're looking for a lighting position, email, website, phone number. Perfect. All that stuff is good. Not fancy font you can't read. All very straightforward. Now, the little girl on your right is the first opportunity for anyone to interact with your work, to see what you're working on, to see what you're about. And I think you can go stronger with the lighting on this character. The main things that I'm seeing are that my first reaction to her was that her skin felt desaturated, it felt a little bit drained, and it didn't quite feel like it was warm and glowing and inviting. I mean, she's waving, she's kind of got this whimsical pose. So I would say that we would want to make her look as ideal and iconic as possible. The other things is that she's lacking a lot of shaping. The lighting here on her front side is very broad in that it's hitting her face in a way that's not quite giving shaping in the way that would be the most ideal. Like it would be nice. So, looking across her chest, it's kind of bright, even, and it doesn't start to get dark until right about here. You would want that line to be somewhere in here so we can go from a bright to full kind of, it's not even like full darkness, but it's like you start brighter here by the key side, get into these core shadows, and then a little bit of rim bounce light underneath here to be, to kind of fill that in a little bit. So that would be, the main things with her are she needs more shaping, and B, her color needs to feel warmer and more inviting. Now, in terms of some more detail stuff, there needs to be her eye ding is escaping her up into her sclera a little bit. I would really like to see it like right in here, right on the border between the pupil and the iris. And yeah, just my read on that. I think her ear is getting a little bit pink. I understand that you're going for the backscatter thing, and that's cool, but it just doesn't it just feels like a transition of color. It doesn't actually feel like backscatter because there's no light that's causing that. It's more of a material thing. And then lastly, I know that this isn't a space that she's being integrated into, but it would be nice to get a little bit of light wrap here around her edge, or just a little bit of edge bleed, just so she's not like starkly over the white background. Okay, so moving into your first shot here, I think the lighting on this is great. But the one thing about the structure of the way that you did this is you don't give the audience an opportunity to absorb what you've done. You jump straight into a breakdown, and I haven't even seen the shot all the way through yet once. So what I would recommend for your demo reel is to play the shot. You've got a couple shots from this animation that you did, and they're great. They're really beautiful. They're really beautiful. The colors are really nice. But before you give the audience a chance again to absorb them, you're already in breakdown mode. So and by the way, I think you did a good job of starting with your strongest work. I think this is really nice. I think that character is cute. I think you've got a lot of shaping, a lot of good color work going on in here. The blackness inside this home is a little strong. It just kind of feels like there's nothing in there, and it'd be really nice to get some bounce light up in there as well. It's just because like these shadows in here and up in here are all so lifted and so light that this heavy, stark interior doesn't really clash with that, especially since we're seeing it like kind of in the window here as being very, very lifted. And I don't think the reflection of the window would lift it quite that much. So just my 2 cents there. In terms of lighting on this, you've got a lot of really nice gobos going on around here, a lot of good framing elements. Like this is really nice. I would just like to see it play out first. And then we'll go from there. Same deal with this one. You just immediately go into a breakdown without showing the shot. And even then you don't know. Like once we get to the final, it's like you're waiting for the next step of the breakdown because you haven't seen what the final product is. And what I was waiting for on this one was an exterior environment. Again, we're just seeing black out there, which makes it feel very, very CG. It just makes it feel like the edge of the earth. Secondly, I would like to see a little semblance of hit a little semblance of a light bulb back there, because right now we're seeing this light coming out here and here. and it would be nice to get a hot spot right here in the middle to be, because the shade doesn't completely block the light, it just minimizes it a little bit, and where the bulb is going to be brighter. Also, it looks like we're missing kind of connection points here for the shade. Just kind of feels like it's floating now that I look at it. In terms of the character lighting, again, we've got this blue light coming in here, but there's no motivation for that. There's no blue sky coming in. Her skin feels a little bit plasticky porcelain, especially down in here. I think we could work on that a little bit. The window light is feeling a little bit, probably a little bit too strong. It's competing too much with this key light, and this key light I feel like also could go a little bit warmer. It's a little bit neutralized right now. I think we can go nice and warm, and it's not even neutralized. It might be a little yellow. I would go a little bit orange warmer on that. And then looking at this guy here, like just double check to make sure you don't have any. It looks like there's some black matte lines kind of coming around his edges there. It may just be the low res here. So this guy is pretty cool. Again, just some minor things like his skin, especially down in here, is getting super gray. It would be nice to keep that warmth in there, and it's also feeling a little bit just kind of green up in here too. It would be nice to get that skin back on a hero color. Again, getting the eye dings right in there on the still frame. Getting a little bit more shaping on the hair would be good. Like it's kind of like it's pretty good. Like you're getting some rim kick fill in here, and it's kind of going across. But it'd be nice to get some more speculars in the hair here. And then yeah, again, the biggest thing is just his skin color feels a little bit off, and it'd be nice to warm that up. And then this one here, really cool setting. Love the outside space. Would want to see a little bit more bleed. Right now it just feels defocused, and it would be nice to have maybe just like a little bit of a glow coming out of that window as well. And I think that's about it. This one, shaping on her feels pretty good. Iding's in a good spot. Her shirt feels a little dirty. I would push the brightness and saturation on that, probably in the comp just a little bit. But overall, that one's looking really well. So, and again, I think you break this down really well. It's your demo reel is short, but that's fine. You're a student, so that's totally fine. But some things that I think that you could work on, again, show the shot and then do the breakdown, and then show it again if you can. Additionally, I think that you could benefit from what we like to show our students, which is a demo reel that was done by someone who I work with, who got the internship back in 2013, who I've been working with for the past 5 or 6 years now. This is Ufan Chang, Linda. And Linda does a really brilliant job in her demo reel of a project that I highly recommend for people. And that's taking the same animation and lighting it multiple ways using reference. What she does is she starts with these still frames. She's got the reference, she's got the render, and then she zooms in, does the full animation, and then that's that. And then backs out to the reference. Goes over to another one, does the same exact shot with different lighting reference. And the mood of it changes entirely. And I absolutely love that because it demonstrates multiple things. One, that you can create mood with your lighting, that you can change the feeling of a scene with your lighting. And two, it shows that you can match reference with your work, with your you can match an aesthetic style into your lighting, which is what these companies are looking for. They're going to tell you what they want you to have it look like, and you have to do it. So I love this assignment. I love this approach of adding work to your demo reel. Take one well-established, well-laid out shot, be it animated or still, and light it using a couple different reference points and a couple different moods. Let's see. And then additionally, she does a really good job of this is kind of one project here, not this one, the next one, where she establishes this shot, and then she establishes the next shot, and she allows the audience to kind of absorb the space and absorb what we're looking at, and feel like we're taking it in, and then she goes into a breakdown. So it's a little bit slower, and it's not because what we're here for is the finished piece, not necessarily the breakdown. The breakdowns are just bonus. So. And she does this in a couple different lighting scenarios that I think are really, really nice. So this is a very moody versus a very happy, bright, glowier setup. Now, what I think that you can do to help improve your work is to do that type of stuff. I also think that you would benefit from a little bit of different type of work because right now your stuff is and actually you have the opposite problem of most people. Most people like sets and environments, and you're very character heavy driven reel, and I think that you could benefit from having some more environmental work. So if you're looking for something, we've got our courses here at TDU. We've got 9 different lighting courses, 8 different lighting courses. That and I think you could probably benefit from a couple of them. The Power of Light is an introductory level course. You wouldn't need that. That doesn't, you've already established a good look for things. Character lighting, I think you could benefit from just because you're struggling a little bit with shaping, a little bit with eye ding position, a little bit with getting the hero color to read and getting some warmth in the skin. So I think you could benefit from that. Environment lighting, again, you don't really have any like vast environments where you have the ability to demonstrate you can show scale in your work and show and be able to communicate a vast landscape. So we've got a whole bunch of different assets you can use there. We've got an entire Victorian village. We've got entire monumental pieces. We've got the Parthenon. We've got an entire swimming pool set. So lots of different opportunities for you to light there. Materials and compositing, I'll let that be to you. It looked like you had a pretty good grasp on that. So if you feel like you have a professional, I don't know how much training you had at Ringling, but if you have a materials or compositing background, if you can take a look at those classes, if they would help benefit you. Lighting and animated film, I think you would definitely benefit from because it's a more advanced level lighting course. It's not really something you get when you're in school. It's more based on production. It's a simulated production of what we actually do. Jasmine does a great job in the getting and succeeding at your job. That's something that you might want to take a look at as well in terms of helping you with interview skills, salary negotiation skills, website stuff, all the little things that you need to get over that finish line. It's your main application source is going to be your demo reel, but it's secondary to that is all that other stuff, all the website and the demo reel stuff. And she's got some great tips in there that you can benefit from. And then we've got Redshift and Arnold for Maya, which you look like you were using Arnold, so no need for that. But in case you wanted to check out Redshift, we've got that there for you as well. And we also have our free lighting challenges. You want to sign up for the asset library. We've got some assets in there that you can download and light up as well. So I hope you found this beneficial. If you have any questions, I would be happy to answer them for you. Feel free to reach out to me at any time. And I look forward to hearing back from you soon. So keep going. You've got skill, you've got talent, and I think you just need a little more practice. I think you're great. So happy lighting.